pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
All right, welcome everybody to Sim Racing Media, home tonight of the Monsters of Speed Racing League NewGen Cup Series, the MSRL 200 from Homestead, Miami Speedway. Once again, I am Mike Damoni up in the booth every Friday night to get you right through the action from the green flag to the checker. These guys are just getting ready to start wrapping up practice. We've seen a lot of slipping and sliding a little bit, but that's kind of what you expect when you come here to Homestead. Got these guys running on a relatively warm to turning colder track, so we expect the racing to get a lot better once we get going here. So it is Homestead Miami Speedway. It is a 1.5 mile oval right now. The track temperature and air temperature relatively the same, right in the mid 80s there. And for 105 laps, stage breaks coming at lap 35 and 75. Look here, last week saw Blake Henderson basically scrape the wall there, coming to the checker. Had 8 cars within 2/10 of a second of winning that race. Mark Parkhurst, a little bit of heartbreaker, a led the most laps at 21, came home in P3. Matt Metler came from 6th or 7th back to finish 2nd. We have Blake Henderson winning the race, Matt Metler 2nd, Mark Parkhurst 3rd, George Jewell 4th, Angel Santiago rounding out the top 5 last week at Daytona. Now we will bring up the points here. Mark Parkhurst is going to be the points leader coming out of Daytona with 59 points. He won a stage and was 2nd in a stage. That is how you make a ton of points up. Angel Santiago won a stage as well, so he's up there sitting in 2nd with 51 points. Blake Henderson, race winner, 47. Jonathan Leach, top 4 in points, followed by Matt Metler and James Jones. And George Jewell comes in 7th, 37 points. So we have kind of a cluster of guys back there between 34 to 28. At the points, the pole sitter last week, Greg Wood Jr., sitting down in 7th after having some issues. So he will look to rebound here in Miami. The teams, you can tell they're all filled in here. Highside Racing had a pretty decent run there, so did Deep Racing. SRM Racing has several guys in top 10. Well, that is where we sit right now. Take a look out on track. Dylan McDonald looking to better his start to the season. Right now, practice, he's had the 2nd fastest lap as we are finishing up here. Ready to qualify. Wes Fuller is going to take a run. Guys out on track here. Go from Daytona to Homestead. Then we go to the Milwaukee Mile, and Auto Club will round out the month. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. Facebook. Double broadcast. On the Facebook live stream, go ahead and comment in the chat who you think's going to win, what you think might happen here at Homestead. Finishing up his first lap, coming to that start-finish line. A 33.5. George Jewell comes in and gets a 33.43, so best that time by just a little bit. The Greg Wood Jr. out here. 33.50 for his first lap. Lap number 2. He does by just a little bit, but just as he did that, George Jewell bests his as well. So Greg Wood Jr. with a 33.33. George Joel came back on his second lap with a 33.29. So he is definitely throwing it down here. Fastest guy in practice was the defending champ here in the Monsters of Speed Racing League, Blake Howell. Blake Howell just blew that time out of the water, 33.11 for Blake Howell here. Right one again. Bested just a little bit with a 33.10. So Blake Howell goes up and goes right to the top of the pylon. Kevin Gibney Jr. ran a 33.33. John McIntyre finished up his lap with a 33.48. Mark Parkhurst ran his first lap in a 33.18, so we'll see if he can get this number 32 Chevy just a little bit more speed to get up there. Coming through. Not quite enough there. Jonathan Cogswell completes his first lap with a 33.45. Last week's winner, Blake Henderson, goes up with his third lap with a 33.32. Zach Woods back in the driver's seat after last week joining me up in the booth. Jonathan Leach completes his first lap with a 33.24. Sitting P4 right at the moment. Leach finishing up lap 2. He can go any faster than he did before. No, he did not. He slowed down by almost half a second, so first lap's probably going to be his quickest. Ricky Gonzalez in that number 7 Ford is out on track now. Completed lap 1 with a 33.43. Looking to see if he can best that time a little bit. Floats up through the middle of the corner. Gets out almost to that outside wall. Coming to that start-finish line. We'll see what he can do here. And doesn't look like it was any faster. If Ricky Gonzalez can finish it up here. Coming to that start-finish line. He does go a little bit faster, but does not move up any positions with the 33.40. Matt Metler with that 93 Ford out on track. Finished his second lap with a 34.24. Fastest lap for him was a 33.59. Like we have Dylan McDonald out here completing lap number 2 right at the moment. First lap must have got a little bit into that outside wall. See if he can get some speed out of there, and he does. Lays down a dynamite lap with a 33.16. Good enough for second place. But Blake Howell right now leading the charge at 33.10. Couple guys left to go right now. Looks like David Mayo's finishing up his third lap. Fastest lap he had was a 33.96. We have Angel Santiago, Marcus Chaffin, and Richard Gonzalez left to go. If they're going to elect to take a qualifying lap. They got just a couple minutes to get it in here. Take a look at David Mayo. Like back on track. Angel was sitting on the edge of pit lane trying to figure out what he's going to do at the moment. You can see Angel sitting here at the edge of pit lane. He's gonna go out and take that extra lap here. Or if he's gonna elect to try and hang back in the back and let the race kind of come to him. And he is gonna take a lap here. It's just a couple minutes to do it. Everybody's been averaging about 33 seconds a lap, so he's got his first lap to go. And now, hold off again. We'll jump on board with Caleb Collins here, see if he's going to be able to best his time. It doesn't look like he is. If Angel's going to take off yet or not. Got just about a minute to do it so he can get his warm-up lap in to put down his fastest lap. Here he goes. Much speed as he can out of that number 90 Ford. He's got a 33.71. Good enough for 20th position here. That will be it with qualifying, and we'll move on to the race session here. Give these guys a minute to jump on their cars and get gridded up. Looking through the field, it looks like it's going to be a lonely time for only Toyota here tonight. One of the only leagues I think that we have that only has one Toyota running here right now. That's Greg Wood Jr. Let's go ahead and jump up here. So the Red Duck 95 Ford of Blake Howell is on the pole. Got Dylan McDonald in the 38 Ford second. Mark Parkhurst and Jonathan Cogswell make up row 2. Row 3, Jonathan Leach and George Jewell. Row 4 is Rhett Balzer and Blake Henderson. Then we've got Greg Wood Jr. and Kevin Gibney Jr. round out row 5. Row 6 is Zach Woods and Cody Mitchell. Then we go back to Wes Fuller and Ricky Gonzalez, John McIntyre, and Bill Sleep in row 8. Row 9 is James Jones and Matt Metler. Then we go back and have David Modzipa. I'll get it right one of these times, David. Angel Santiago. Row 11, Joshua Billiter and Brian Kaufman. Caleb Collins and Gregory Woods Sr., David Mayo, and then the last two guys that did not take a qualifying time, Richard Gonzalez and Marcus Sheffen. So that is the field as we are set. And here we go. All right, so set down, get ready for 135 laps of fast-paced action here with the Monsters of Speed. So we got Blake Howell on the inside, Dylan McDonald on the outside. Blake Howell's only racing part-time this year. He does have teammates sitting right to his outside. Pace car is in, and we are set to get this MSRL 200 underway. Blake Howell gets a pretty good run coming to the start-finish line. We'll try and jump up just in front of Dylan McDonald. Dylan McDonald might slide down just a little bit to help him, but it looks like they're going to stay relatively spread out. We're almost 3 wide back towards the back here. Jonathan Leach, George Jewell, and Blake Henderson. We're all kind of spread out. We got Blake Henderson up on the high side with Greg Wood Jr. behind him. Jonathan Leach is almost in the middle trying to get to that high line, and he does, just barely clearing Henderson. Henderson goes down to the inside. He's going to try and get back to where he wants to be. Greg Wood Jr. staying up high into that wall almost. And you float back, and Kevin Gibney Jr. is running a different line than these guys as well. Got this bright neon orange car here that's getting passed on the inside by Ricky Gonzalez. Or almost. Ricky Gonzalez is now going to make that pass. Jumps up in front of him. There we go. These guys seem to be getting almost single file when they come out of the corners, but through the corner, they can't decide where they want to be. Dylan McDonald all over that back bumper of Blake Howell at the moment. Trying to come out of the corner. All nice and clean. Looks like Jonathan Leach might have just barely caught the wall there. Slowed him down just a little bit. Allowed Kevin Gibney Jr. and George Jewell to make the pass. Ricky Henderson's trying to make the pass as well. We go back and have Angel Santiago, Matt Metler looking around. The 01 of Brad Kaufman. Caleb Collins ran a heck of a race last week. He is up almost into that wall running that Kyle Larson line. As you can kind of see, these guys get spread out as they're coming through the corner there. Go back, and there's Richard Gonzalez in the 23. Marcus Chaffin in the 33. David Mozapa in the 1. Changed it up a little bit. It's got that 213simware.com on it. Go up here and take a look up front as we got some movers up here a little bit. Cogswell's the fastest one on track with a 33.29. Matched Blake Howell that lap. Track should start to tighten up as we move our way into the nighttime air. Blake Henderson, last week's winner, up 2 positions. Ricky Gonzalez is up 7, but didn't get the qualifying lap he wanted, but definitely showed it here that he's able to make his way to the front while these guys are starting to spread out a bit. Did end up Talk about the title sponsor here, Waldorf Toyota, where wonderful happens. New and used dealership located in Waldorf, Maryland, giving you the best deal on all the 2023 Toyotas and great prices on all used vehicles, providing you with our best Toyota care service needs and full maintenance requirements. If you guys are ever out in Waldorf, Maryland, go ahead and hit them up. You just need your car, a little work done to your car, or if you're looking for something new, give them a shout. They support iRacing, so if you're out there, support them as well. Got any looks like Bill Sleep has one heck of a neon themed 63 Ford there. Everybody was supposed to throw on a neon scheme, and looks like we got a few takers. Nothing too bad here, though. See if we can take a view here. All right, so this is the exit of 2. You'll see guys just come flying by and see how close they get to that wall. Kevin Gibney Jr. moves clear out to the outside. Looks like Jonathan Leach about touched the wall. Just to show you how tight those guys are getting to that wall. So Blake Howell has led every step of the way. We are getting closer to that stage break here at lap 35. We've completed 10 laps, working on number 11 here. Dylan McDonald up in second place. Mark Parkhurst in third, and Jonathan Cogswell in fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, just the way they qualified, the way they're running on the track. Ricky Gonzalez, the biggest mover of the night, looking down to the inside, going to try and pass Blake Henderson here. Ricky Gonzalez seems to have the line and maybe the, I'd call it pace, but the rhythm here at this track going into the corners keeps it nice and smooth. Sometimes you might seem like you're going a little bit slow, but you're actually one of the faster cars on track. As you see Greg Wood Jr. get a little loose there coming out of 4. Back here. The Wes Fuller looks like he gets a little bit of run, but Balzer and Kevin Gibney Jr. get into it a little bit, slows down Wes Fuller. Wes Fuller slides down to the inside, goes right through that, well, the little blue area there. Looks like he doesn't touch the wall at all. Keeps it straight, loses a couple positions, but definitely one heck of a save there by Wes Fuller. So even with that, he only lost 3 positions from where he was running. Has a couple teammates up in front of him. Back through the field a little bit here. Like Caleb Collins went to the pits. What happened to guy on the pits on lap 8? So we see Angel Santiago there making his way through the corner. Looks like Kevin Gibney Jr. gets a little loose. Angel Santiago tries to go high. Kevin Gibney Jr. slides up just a little bit. The 45 of James Jones tries to split the difference, but Santiago slides into him. Gibney Jr. into the inside wall, Santiago into the outside wall. But it looks like that might just everybody there. Oh, 23 of Richard Gonzalez hit Santiago right in that passenger side door. So, little gamesmanship there from the front two. Blake Howell and Dylan McDonald both faked like they were going to pit, last second pulled up onto the racing surface. Didn't fool really anybody there. But here we go anyway. Greg Woods Sr. looks like he got a little bit loose in pit entry. Caleb Collins getting his lap back. Looking through the field, see go up front. It should be going out on the pace car, I think, this time by. Look here at Kids Lawn Care. They're sponsors of the Monsters of Speed Cup Series. They're a small business located in Calvert County, Maryland, specializing in hardscape designs from patios to driveways. Also, landscape designs to add culture, life to your yard. Serving you the best quality in Maryland, Delaware, PA, VA, and DC areas. So here we go. Lights are going out on the pace car. We'll stack them up. Blake Howell on the inside, Dylan McDonald on the outside. Stuff a little bit different tonight. Really, they'd have a choose rule in effect, but they do not tonight. So the only person that gets to choose is the leader. They'll choose either a high or low line, and I imagine here probably going to see most of them elect to stick to that bottom line. Go ahead and forward here with our leader, Blake Howell. Driving down that backstretch here. Going through. See how quick he elects to go once that pace car's in. As soon as he gets to that restart zone, he should be good to go. Waits till almost the end, and Blake Howell is down and away. And has a huge jump on Dylan McDonald there. Mark Parkhurst looking to his inside. Blake Howell trying to pull away. Cogswell up high. Blake Henderson all over the place at the moment. Blake Henderson up 4 positions right now, currently inside the top 5. Cogswell back just 1. And Ricky Gonzalez is making his way up here through the field still as well. Up 8 positions as they run. George Jewell, one of the faster cars we saw in qualifying. Sitting just outside that top 6, currently P7. See everybody kind of spread out once they come to the corner and then get right back together when they come off of it. 44 of Cody Mitchell's up high right into that wall almost. Oh, Dylan McDonald goes around. Like he might have had help from Cogswell there. Let's take a look here. So coming out of the corner here, like Blake Henderson gets a little bit there, but Gonzalez, McDonald got loose before that. So Cogswell got loose. Because of Gonzalez. But it looked like Dylan McDonald got loose on his own. Cody Mitchell couldn't avoid him and hit him right in that right side door. Everybody else splits and tries to avoid it. So, who elects to come to pit road looks like Cody Mitchell does. Pretty much like other Santiago does, Joshua Bill does. We'll see what happens here on this restart. .33 gets that lucky dog, gets that back. Pace light should go out on the pace car. Blake Howell will probably take that bottom line again. Allow Mark Parkhurst to stay up high. And everybody else will have to fill in behind them. And it looks like we have a Cody Mitchell fan club in the Facebook channel. Addie, Austin, Tiffany, all cheering for Cody. Cheering for George Jewell, as always. Thanks, guys, for getting in the chat and cheering for your drivers. Love to hear it. I think I just heard that Blake Howell electing to take the high side. He'll leave Mark Parkhurst down on the bottom. So that's a little different here. Like Ricky Gonzalez is going to stay up here as well. Gonzalez got lucky there. So here we go. Something a little different here when they come to that start-finish line. Blake Howell will be up on the high side. Same leader, just different place. Ricky Gonzalez is right behind him up there. Mark Parkhurst probably won't have too much help there from Blake Henderson unless he can get his car under control there. Coming through 3, headed to the start-finish line here. We'll see if Blake Howell elects to go right when they hit that restart zone, or if he'll wait and drag it out a little bit longer, or somewhere in between. We've seen him do a little bit of everything last year. I imagine he's going to do the same thing. Keep everybody on their toes. Pace car is in. Blake Howell leads them to the Geico restart zone, and he is away right now. Mark Parkhurst gets a decent jump, tries to stay with him there, but just not quite enough to do so. Ricky Gonzalez has a heck of a run on that high side, going to drop in to second position here, up 12 spots. Like George Jules racing 3 ride with Cogswell and Wes Fuller there. 45 of James Jones is back there. Like Zach Woods. Oh! James Jones gets spun around right in the middle. Oof. All right. See here. Back here. All right, so you have the 78 of Greg Wood Jr. up high. Jonathan Leach up there as well. Down on the inside is Zach Woods. Zach Woods gets a run. Like slides up just a little bit, gets a little loose. See that front end just kind of suck into James Jones there. And then slide right around. Zach Woods tries to stay out of him, just can't do it. The 93 of Matt Metler goes around. And it looks like Greg Wood Sr. makes it by. Let's go back live here. So Angel Santiago's getting his lap back. Fine. So, seeing as how we're working on lap 30, we got 5 laps until the stage break. So everybody up front's going to be trying to jockey for more position here. Especially if you're in that 11th, 12th, 13th spot, you want to get up there and at least get a couple points. So we'll see what happens there. See if Blake Howell elects to take that high side again. Stay low. Both here lately. Made it back around to the pit lane. That's going to make it interesting for that second stage because these guys that are pitting right now probably won't pit when we come down for that stage break on lap 35 because they only have, 3 or 4 laps on those tires. So John McIntyre was supposed to start on the front row last week at Daytona, ran a heck of a qualifying race, but then had something come up and couldn't make the race. He is currently up 10 positions, sitting in P5. Who else has come quite a bit? Brian Kaufman in the 01 is sitting P10, up 12 positions. As they are stacked back up, Blake Howell takes the high side with Blake Henderson behind him. Ricky Gonzalez down low. Mark Parkhurst behind him. They make their way down that back stretch. Everybody's starting to get stacked up a little bit here. Let me go ahead and take a from starter cam. You'll see them come out of 4 here in a minute. Pace car will jump in, and we will be back to green flag racing here momentarily. Pace car is in. Blake Howell has the button on the high side. Hits that Geico restart zone, and down and away he is off and gets a heck of a jump there over both Henderson and Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky Gonzalez is down on the inside, going to try and hold that line and not allow Henderson to come down in front of him. We go back. We got George Jewell, Cogswell, and Wes Fuller battling out back here. The 94 of Rhett Balzer there. Cogswell and Balzer side by side. Everybody spreads out behind him. Wes Fuller, Jonathan Leach, George Jewell, Matt Metler back there as well. Caleb Collins up on the high side. Dylan McDonald battling him way back through the field. John McIntyre, I don't know what happened there. Go back and see here in a moment. But up front, Blake Howell is going to roll right through here. And he is going to win the stage. Ricky Gonzalez in second. Blake Henderson third. Mark Parkhurst fourth. Cogswell, Balzer, Greg Wood Jr., Jonathan Leach, Wes Fuller, and Brian Kaufman. So that is the way they cross the finish line here at the end of stage 1. Yeah, but I'll get that worked out next week and get that logo changed for you. You'll see a big logo when we go to that picture-in-picture. And sure, I got that up for you. Once these guys make their way through their pit stops here, Sheila cheering for Blake. Take a look. Take a look here. Looks like he got a little bit loose. Slid up the track right behind Parkhurst. Almost got into the wall. Slid back down the racetrack. Cogswell avoids him. Everybody avoids him. Oh, just a little scrape on that quarter panel. And he is back to racing. So, heck of a save almost. So as he made his pit stop, let's go ahead and bring Blake in. Hey Blake, mic up in the booth. You got a copy? Hey Blake, you got a copy?
I do.
Oh, hey man. Awesome run there. Come back, make your season debut on the pole, and basically drive away from almost everybody for a little while. How's that track out there?
I don't know how it is for everybody else. I see a lot of people sliding, but I'm really tight. But that's helping me out here. I'm not sliding the tires, and overall, it's been smooth sailing so far. Look forward to more of the same in the second stage.
Awesome. I'll let you get back to doing what you do here. Congrats on winning that stage, and maybe I'll talk to you after the second one here.
All right, thank you.
That was stage winner Blake Howell. Definitely knows his way around the track here. But with that being said, we got some guys that elected to stay out after pitting earlier. Blake Howell's in 6th position. He pitted on that stage break there on lap 37. But he's got 5 guys in front of him who pitted earlier. We got the 93 of Matt Metler, the 23 of Richard Gonzalez, the 90 of Angel Santiago, the 60 of Zach Woods, and the 44 of Cody Mitchell. So those 5 guys last pitted on lap 29 and 30. Looks like Cody Mitchell's 26. But Matt Medler last pitted on lap 17, so he pitted way early. So here we go. Matt Medler takes the high side. So here they go, coming down that backstretch, getting stacked up. Making their way through 3 and 4. Kind of nice, personally, seeing a couple of SRM cars up towards the front. Matt Metler will have the button once the pace car pulls away. Makes his way to the Geico restart zone. I don't know what happened there. He was slow to get away. And he is sliding all over the track. Richard Gonzalez down to the inside. Angel Santiago up to the high side. They're 3 and 4 wide behind him, trying to work their way around some of the slower cars that elected to stay out here. Angel Santiago into that outside wall just a little bit. Like it might have bounced off it, tried to help him a little bit. 42 laps are going to be in the books here momentarily. But these guys get kind of situated here. Blake Howell didn't waste any time, and he is back up into second place. Worked his way through that traffic like they were standing still. Angel Santiago is the only one in front of him. These two are very familiar with each other on track. Had some good hard racing last year. Blake Howell looks down to the inside. Like he might be able to keep it there. Angel Santiago floats up a little bit, but is able to maintain that momentum off of the corner. Go back Zach Woods and Blake Henderson were almost side by side. Zach Woods was able to clear and make that pass. Ricky Gonzalez in 8th. Wes Fuller and Dylan McDonald. Dylan McDonald forces it 3 wide with Matt Metler and Wes Fuller. Dylan McDonald goes to the high side. George Jewell gets a heck of a run, closes right onto the back bumper of Wes Fuller. And Blake Howell made that pass for the lead. Ever he wanted it. Angel Santiago still up 18 positions. Biggest mover, though, of the race right now is Richard Henderson. Up 21 positions in that number 23. Back and catch some action back towards the back of the track here. Wes Fuller, Dylan McDonald hooked up there with Zach Woods in front of them. 3 teammates making their way through the field. '29 and 01, almost side by side. Jonathan Leach back a little ways here, currently running 17th. Ricky Gonzalez just ran the fastest lap on track with a 33.23. As we come to 50 to go, or 50 in the race. Go ahead and take a break in a second. Let these guys get settled down. Cody Mitchell and Greg Wood Jr. battling side by side down the backstretch. Like both of them have cars that are holding their lines pretty well. Like Ricky Gonzalez is going to try and get in there. Blake Henderson's almost was looking like he was going to try and make it 3 wide. George Jewell and Zach Woods back and forth. James Jones back here. 08 of David Mayo. At 63 of Bill Sleep. Cogswell back there a little ways. Caleb Collins. Josh Billiter. Marcus Chafin. Back a little bit further. One of David Mozipa. Oh, Blake Henderson, Cody Mitchell kind of battling out a little bit as, whoa. I don't know what that was. He wound up out of the way as Cody Mitchell and Dylan McDonald bang doors there coming through the 3 and 4. Mark Parkhurst trying to battle his way back up towards the front. So with 50 to go, I'm going to go ahead and step aside as we go picture in picture. You won't miss anything. This is Monsters of Speed NewGen Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Sim Racing Media, home tonight of the Monsters of Speed NewGen Cup Series, MRS L NewGen. You guys have been putting on a show here at Miami. Back up front here, look at Blake Howell making his way around this track. He is just running away with this race almost. He is out to a 2-second lead over Ricky Gonzalez. Ricky Gonzalez sitting currently in second. Then you go back to Greg Wood Jr. Dylan McDonald and Mark Parkhurst round out the top 5. Whoa, Angel Santiago. About taking a look. What happened to Angel? Looks like he slid up the track, so he's getting a little loose. Those back tires just start spinning. He tries to correct it. Then all of a sudden, doesn't hit the outside wall. Just makes that hard left-hand turn. As soon as he starts, he's like trying to turn back to the right to keep it off that wall. Slamming on the brakes. Just barely touches the back, the front. but we stay green. The race is back here between these 4 drivers. Take a little closer look here at the 07 Monster Energy. George Jewell here. Fans in the chat. Like I said, Cody Mitchell as well. Got a couple fan clubs here growing. Now Blake Howell is out to over a 2-second gap here. And we are about 14 laps from finishing stage number 2. See if Mark Parkhurst or Dylan McDonald or George Jewell have something that they can kind of close this gap on Blake Howell. I mean, the gap from Blake Howell to Ricky Gonzalez is 2.23 seconds, and back to Mark Parkhurst is 1.68. And there's not really gaining any time here. Mark Parkhurst, Dylan McDonald, George Jewell. Oh, Greg Wood Jr. got loose coming off of 4. Able to save it, jump back up in front of Henderson. Henderson goes down to the inside, is going to try and make that pass. Oh, Greg Wood Jr. right into that outside wall again as well. But Cody Mitchell's going to try and close up and get a little bit closer to him. John McIntyre back there as well. Greg Wood Jr. goes down to the inside. Is going to pass Blake Henderson there. Henderson goes down to the inside. They're battling back and forth, crossing each other left and right. Here they go back again. Back and take a look a little bit deeper in the field here. Got Cogswell and Fuller. Cogswell out here running basically by himself on this, without any teammates here. James Jones back there in 13th. Brian Kaufman. Bill Sleep. Zach Woods sitting P16. Matt Metler restarted that run. Oh, have a yellow flag. Let's see what happen here. Great. Back to see him start to get a run on George Jewell. Get a little bit loose. Save it, try and get down out of the way. Still sliding. About 30 degrees down the hill. Gets down on the apron there. But that back end still trying to slide up. And it looks like, looks like Cody Mitchell just barely got a little piece of it. Sends Greg Wood Jr. around. And that will bring out our caution. So, 67 of 134. Everybody's much coming in who didn't pit on that last stage break. So they're trying to do that same exact strategy they did earlier. Like everybody pitted about 5 or 6 laps before the last stage break, and that's what they're doing this time. Caution CP just coming out just at the right time. So we're halfway through the race right now. Little has changed up front as Blake Howell has led 98% of the laps here tonight. See if he's going to lead these last 8 or so to the stage break. Let's see. Look at the stats here for Homestead, Miami. Last year they came here, ran 134 laps, 6 cautions for 22 laps, but had 12 lead changes. George Jewell was able to come away with a 3rd place finish. A couple other drivers I haven't seen here back in this league yet. Cam Santoyo won that race. So they're on pace to do basically what they did last time. Pace lights should go out on the pace car this time. Blake Howell elects the inside lane this time. Everybody's going to get stacked up here. What view we can take a look. Right along. Looking at the front two here. Blake Howell down on the inside. Ricky Gonzalez on the high side. Mark Parkhurst just to the left here of Dylan McDonald. Dylan McDonald's battled back, ran heck of a race, currently sitting P4 after having a little bit of issue earlier in the race. As they get ready to come out of turn 4 here. Pace car ducks in. Hit that Geico restart zone. Looks like Blake waited just a little bit. Wasn't going as fast as he usually does. And Ricky Gonzalez was not able to keep up at the moment. Dylan McDonald's been stuck on that high line all by himself now. We'll see how far he drops, or if he's going to able to. Looks like he's able to clear Parkhurst here, so he might be able to get down behind Ricky Gonzalez, and he does. Looks like Henderson got a little bit loose there. Cody Mitchell back there with Cogswell on the outside. George Jewell just behind them. James Jones stuck in that middle line, looks like a little bit. Wes Fuller just behind him. And George Jewell, like he gets knocked a little bit out of line, out of shape, saves it, and we stay green. 71 laps completed. We got 4 more to get to lap 75. Yellow flag is out here. What happened here? Sideways. Let's take a ride aboard. Off the note. They can see Gregory would get a little bit loose. Jonathan Leach looks like he's going to try and turn down, and right when he does, he gets a little bit loose. Just barely clips the 64 of Gregory Wood Sr., and he gets spun around there. Looks like nothing too bad at the moment for Leach. Senior backs into the inside wall. And that is probably going to be the stage break, if I'm not mistaken. So we should see everybody come down pit road. And it looks like we will. Got few that stayed out as they last pitted on lap 66. But it looks like this time there's only going to be 3. Greg Wood Jr., Matt Metler, and Brian Kaufman. And as that is the stage break, let's see if... eventually he's going to get tired of talking to us, I'd imagine. But when you're running as well as he is tonight, maybe not. Hey, Blake, mic up in the booth. You got a copy again?
Gotcha.
Hey, man. So, finished where you said you were going to at last time I talked to you. Is the track changing much, or is it basically the same?
It got tighter. Got colder, and it got way tighter, but that's just playing into what I want to do. So, really, I feel like we can only go up from here.
Yeah, it looked like you had that car set up pretty good, a little on the tight side, but you're not sliding around as near as some of these other guys behind you. Got, what, 60 or so laps to the finish. How do you think this last stage is going to go?
Well, with the way the track's tightened up, I don't think we'll see as many cautions. Looking to probably make a green flag stop on the stage, unless we do get a caution, of course. But yeah, really the goal is lead start to finish. It's the goal in every stage, I guess.
Awesome. Well, I will let you get back to racing here, and maybe I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Blake Howell makes it 2 for 2 in the stages. Looking to make a clean sweep here shortly. So Candace is cheering for Cody. Give him a little screen time. If you guys are watching and you want your driver to have a little screen time, just shout them out on the chat there, and I will get to them. Everybody will get a little bit more showtime the more you root for them. So back up front, we got Greg Wood Jr. down on the inside, Matt Metler on the high side. We saw Matt up here earlier. He had control to restart last time. This time he does not. And he has the lightning quick Blake Howell right behind him. So I imagine we're going to see it go 3 wide pretty quickly, because I don't imagine that Blake's going to wait too long to make this pass. Dylan McDonald's behind him as well. Dylan McDonald sometimes forces the issue a little too much, but he is one of the more aggressive drivers and always seems to find himself running towards the front here. And if you are in that Facebook Live there, go ahead and hit that like, hit the share. Know anybody who wants to watch some entertaining racing, go ahead and turn them on here. Greg Wood Jr. making the turn to the Geico restart zone. He is down and away. It's about 2 or 3 car lengths. Blake Howell is all over the back bumper of Matt Mettler, and he floats down to the inside, makes it 3 wide, but not the 3 wide I was thinking of, as Dylan McDonald is forcing that high line, trying to get just to the inside of Matt Mettler, and he's going to. They stay off of each other, and Mark Parkhurst is working his way almost 3 wide as well. So we got Dylan McDonald, Ricky Gonzalez, Matt Mettler clear up high. Has a huge run coming off of the corner, is able to clear Henderson. But up front, Greg Wood Jr. is able to get almost a 3/4 second lead over Blake Howell right now in second. Blake Howell, Dylan McDonald. Dylan McDonald's trying to catch Blake Howell. They worked pretty well together as McDonald and Kaufman banged doors just a little bit there. Side by side they go. The 0-1 of Brian Kaufman likes that high line. He gets clear up almost about a car width off the wall and is able to get that huge run coming off the corner and closes in right onto the rear bumper of Dylan McDonald. He just loses a little bit of ground down the straightaway. So we'll see if he can maintain that or not. Going back a little bit further, we have Ricky Gonzalez and Mark Parkhurst. We got Blake Henderson, last week's winner. John McIntyre. And Wes Fuller. Matt Mettler started this run up front and is now back into 13th. As we look at the field, Blake Howell has closed that gap down to just under 0.4 of a second from Greg Wood Jr. That's Robert in here cheering for Blake Howell. And from showtime to go time. Got another shout out for Cody Mitchell. Cody Mitchell back in the field a little ways. Was running pretty decent earlier. Blake Howell now has that gap down to 0.1 of a second. He's looking for the lead. He's not going to give up until he gets it down to the inside. Got a huge run coming into the corner. Said he was a little bit tight and it tightened up. But he's been able to stick that car wherever he wants it. As Greg Wood Jr. gets a little loose, chases Blake Howell down the racetrack. Both of them save it. Don't really touch or anything. Heck of a drive there by both Blake Howell and Greg Wood Jr. Dylan McDonald closing in as well. Getting within about 0.1 of a second of Greg Wood Jr. there. Looks like Blake Howell and Dylan McDonald have the same setup and is able to get the inside line to work just a little bit better than Greg Wood Jr. on corner entry. Looks like Greg Wood Jr. has corner exit a little bit better. But as long as we stay green, next pit stop should be about a lap 100, I'm going to say. Dylan McDonald gets just inside that left rear quarter panel. See if he's going to be able to clear him. And he doesn't, because Wood Jr. just has a heck of a drive coming off the quarter. Dylan McDonald beats him on, but just can't finish the job there. Mark Parkhurst has closed in as well. Looks like Greg Wood Jr. might have Came out of that start just a little bit too quick. Or these fresher tires are takes about a couple laps to get them where you want to be before they start wearing off. Look back through the field a little bit here. Blake Henderson, Brian Kaufman, John McIntyre. One of the brightest cars on track is Rhett Balzier. George Jewell just behind him. We have Richard Gonzalez, Matt Metler, Jonathan Cogswell, Wes Fuller, Bill Sleep in that lime green number 63 Ford, Zach Woods, Marcus Chafin, James Jones, Joshua Billiter, David Mazapa, David Mayo, Cody Mitchell, back in 22nd place. Caleb Collins had a little incident earlier and has been on and off pit road a number of times. Jonathan Leach back there in 24th. Kevin Gibney Jr. and Angel Santiago. Oh, looks like Angel might have put it on the hauler. Like Angel put it on the hauler. Greg Wood Jr. is now falling back through the field pretty quickly. As we're running back through the field, so was Greg Wood Jr. He's currently in 8th place. The top 3 didn't change from the start of the race. Blake Howell leading it. Dylan McDonald 2nd. Mark Parkhurst back in 3rd. Ricky Gonzalez is in 4th. But somebody is going to have to find something. Make Blake Howell stub his toe or something, because right now he is driving away and pretty much doing it at will. Talked to him a couple times tonight after winning both the stages. Doesn't sound like he will be driving full time, so we'll see how that works out here. No, his team will get team points for him showing up tonight. Dylan McDonald, about a 1.5 seconds back. There's a windshield full of Mark Parkhurst here. Parkhurst is able to, seems like he's able to close the gap a little bit, and then all of a sudden on the drive off the corner, Dylan McDonald just pulls away. As we have a caution here, looks like Greg Wood Jr. got a little bit out of shape. Let's take a look here. Looks like everything's relatively fine. We saw him driving backwards through the field. You can see him get just on that line, start to turn down a little bit, and turns down just a little too much. Able to turn right and save it off of Cogswell. Goes right into that wall and stays up high. Matt Metler getting by. Like everybody's able to get past him with no further issues. So I don't think anybody's going to come to pit road right now. So we'll see if anybody elects to. Have about 40 laps to go. I think since everybody made it at least to lap 35, we should be good to make it to the end. But I guess it all depends on what you think the race is going to do. Because in about 8 or 9 laps, you're probably going to want to come in anyway. So we'll see here. Blake Howell trying to psych people out again. Like only one taker. That's Richard Gonzalez. As they start getting stacked back up for the finish here. I'll have about 30 laps left. Or 40 laps left. They can go about 40 on fuel, but they've been out on track since lap 75 or so. Maybe a little less. A little more, I mean, because 73, I think, is when the caution came out. Those guys will have to because as we were talking to Blake, he's going to have to pit stop. He's going to have to make a stop one more time. Cody is where Cody is. Cody is currently running 18th. Looks like a couple cars are electing to come down pit lane at the moment. So that is where Cody is at, Logan. So it looks like he's going to be down on the inside, starting towards the back of the inside row. Up front, we have Blake Howell and Mark Parkhurst. Blake Howell elected to take the high side. Dylan McDonald stuck with him there as well. Mark Parkhurst has Blake Henderson, last week's winner, behind him. We'll see if these guys get a little bit antsy and causes a little bit more flipping and sliding here. The track should have tightened up a little bit, but we'll see if these guys over adjusted their adjustments on pit lane. Hit that Geico restart zone. Blake Howell is down and away. Dylan McDonald stuck right with him. Mark Parkhurst did not quite get the run that he was looking for, but he is still up in third position. Ricky Gonzalez is stuck kind of on that high line all by himself. George Jules making his way on that high line. Looks like we're almost going to be 3 wide back behind him. But not quite. Looks like they straightened out here. Everybody kind of got where they were going. Ricky Gonzalez up on the high line. Blake Henderson on that low line. George Jewell is closing in pretty quickly. Jumps to the high side, gets right behind Ricky Gonzalez. Right then, Ricky Gonzalez got a little bit loose. Parkhurst is looking to the inside of McDonald. Side by side they go. Through 3 and 4. Down the front stretch. Still side by side. Not giving each other much of anything as Dylan McDonald tries to go down and side draft just a little bit. Parkhurst is slowly closing that gap. Not much time separates them. Ricky Gonzalez seems to be getting a decent push there from Henderson. Don't know if he's going to try and look to get it 3 wide there, but they were leaving him a gap in the middle. Henderson down to the inside is going to make that pass on Gonzalez. Cogswell's looking to his inside. George Jewell, like he got a little bit loose, almost started to dive to the inside. But Blake Howell is driving away even from his teammate, almost a second lead right now. Guys are all just trying to battle it out to get in a better position to set them up for that all-important money stop and the last 30 laps of this race. Ricky Gonzalez goes up to the high side. Jonathan Cogswell goes down low, leaves Henderson in the middle. Go back here. Cody Mitchell now battling up into 7th position here, down on the inside of Henderson, making his move. He moved up basically 10 positions from where we looked when we first started, just because of the choose and the way he's driving. Looking to the inside of Cogswell, going to try and make that pass on him. Like he's got a pretty good drive into the corner. He's able to stick it. He should be able to float up just in front of Cogswell, and he does. Cody Mitchell up to 6th position. Biggest mover of the night is the 33, just a couple cars in front of Cody Mitchell, up 23 positions, currently running P4 in the 33 Ford, Marcus Chaffin. Then you have the top of the field that have been basically up there every step of the way. Blake Howell, Dylan McDonald, and Mark Parkhurst. But that 33 Oreo Ford is making some moves. Looks like he's been kind of laying in the weeds there a little bit, and now that it's go time, he is up into 2nd, past Dylan McDonald, almost like he was standing still. Got a 1/10 of a second pretty quick there. Cody Mitchell down to the inside is going to try and make the pass on Ricky Gonzalez. Cody has that 44 machine looking pretty good. All the fans in the chat must be giving him a little extra boost there in that 44. Go back, look through the field here. Looks like Zach Woods and Henderson and even Bill Sleep maybe battling out there a little bit towards the back of the field. Oh! McIntyre ran Caleb right into the wall. Back up front. Take a look here at the battle box. That time keeps going down. That 33 Ford is on rails right now. That gap was almost a second when he made that pass on McDonald, but Parkhurst also made the pass on McDonald. So now it's Howell, Chaffin, Parkhurst. And Chaffin has got 1/4 of a second to make up, but he has almost a 2 3/4 cushion going back to Mark Parkhurst. $105 laps complete. I imagine we're going to see some early takers here, maybe, because a lot of them last pit on lap 73. There's a few that pitted on lap 91 as Marcus Chaffin makes that pass on Blake Howell. He's got fresher tires since he went in on lap 91, and he is now your new leader. Blake Howell is going to have to find something for him, and Blake Howell is probably going to have to make a pit stop. I don't know that Chaffin's going to have to, and that is something that Chaffin did not want to see. We got caution on the racetrack. Let's see what happened here with Kevin Gibney Jr. Like he's riding pretty well. Clipped the apron. Goes up into the outside wall. Hits Greg Woods Sr. And that is that. Everybody else looks to avoid him. So, I would imagine that we will probably see everybody come in. But there may be some guys a little bit further down in the field. Cogswell won't, because he just pitted on lap 106. So I imagine Cogswell's going to stay out. But everybody else, I'm going to say, is going to come in and pit. Oh. Chaffin doesn't. So that is odd. That is not something that Cogswell wanted to see. Cogswell wanted to be the first one behind that pace car. Then he would have got that wave around, got his lap back, and been on the lead lap with 26 laps to go. So just for the chat, we'll go ahead and go a little something here. Driver currently sitting P4 now. Blake Howell came out of the pits P5. So I am confused now. Marcus Chaffin could have pitted with everybody else, and he probably would have came out about where Cody Mitchell and Blake Howell did. But he waited another lap. So I don't understand why he would have done that. But what do I know? So Zach Woods last pitted on lap 73, according to the scoring monitor. So I would imagine they're going to let Cogswell go here. But it doesn't... Okay, there he goes. I'll say, didn't look like he was going to get let go. So Zach Woods is going to be the leader on the inside row. David Mosespaw is in the outside row. Blake Howell is in the inside, and Cody Mitchell took the high side. Then you got Parkhurst down low, and Jonathan Leach up high. Let's get these cars all stacked back up here. Get them ready to go to wrap this up. Money stops have been made for almost everybody. Looks like Zach Woods might have to make one. But everybody else should be good to go. Here they go. Coming out of 4. Pace car is in. Zach Woods with the button. Down and away. It's a pretty good jump. Blake Howell stays within about a car and a half of him. Blake Howell goes up high, floats around. Slides back down. Going to try and get that nose inside of Zach Woods. It looks like he just will be able to do it. Oh, wrecking behind, wrecking behind. Let's see who all is involved. Oh my gosh. Let's get a different view here. So we got Caleb Collins gets into that outside wall, slows him down. The 0-1 of Brian Kaufman. Looks like he slides up and just clips. Just clips at 72. 72 slides down in front of, like that's Bill Sleep. And the 23. The 48 avoids it. The 33 looks like he avoids it as well. 01 hits him again. What in the world? '93 gets spun around. So 21 laps to go. Zach Woods still was leading. But I am going to say that Zach Woods will not be leading because he's going to probably have to come to pit road. Last pitted on lap 73. We're on lap 114. But while we have a minute, let's go ahead and talk about the two sponsors here. There's Waldorf Toyota jumped on board this year, but Kids Lawn Service has been around every year I've broadcast these guys. Give them a little bit of time here. Small business located in Calvert County, Maryland. So if you're over there in Calvert County, go ahead and give them a shout. Look them up on Facebook, Kids Lawn Service. Looking through the pictures, they definitely do a dang good job at putting up that hardscape. Give something, everybody a little bit of something different there. So here they go. Looks like Zach Woods is not gonna do that. We'll see as they all start to get lined up here. Make their way through 3 and 4. See a lot of lime green colors. So Mark Parkhurst gets the benefit of the choose rule now. We'll be starting on the outside lane. Zach Woods is still down on that inside lane. He has Blake Howell going to be fired up and see if he can make the pass relatively quickly. There they go. Coming through 3 and 4. Parkhurst on the outside. Woods down on the inside. Woods has the button. Close it way down. It's everybody bumpered up there. It's about a car length and a half over Howell and McIntyre. Parkhurst is still out there pretty wide. Parkhurst goes down to the inside, going to cross Howell up here. Was looking wide, but then went low. But Howell has a heck of a run on that high side. Gets right to the right side door of Zach Woods. Mark Parkhurst makes the pass on Zach Woods as well. John McIntyre's looking to pass. And Jonathan Leach is also looking to pass. Dylan McDonald back up inside the top 5 after passing Zach Woods. Now we have a race building up here. Blake Howell, Mark Parkhurst, John McIntyre, Jonathan Leach, and Dylan McDonald. Dylan McDonald looking to the outside of Leach. Side by side they go. Heading into 1 and 2. And we have a caution. Let's see what we have a caution for. Go back just a little bit. Oh, Bill Sleep just gets a little bit of air off of the 72. Goes around, hits Matt Metler. Nobody really crashed too bad. So while we have a minute, I'm going to step away, let these guys ride around the track for a little bit, and I'll be back in a moment. You're watching the Monsters of Speed Racing League NewGen Cup Series, the MSRL 200 from Homestead, Miami, here on Sim Racing Media.
What's up, guys? Roger Diebold, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
Welcome back, everybody. You didn't miss a thing. They just were under caution logging a few laps here. We're going to have 11 to go once we get back to green flag racing. There'll be a little bit of a shootout here. Blake Howell making his season debut here at Homestead. Basically picking up where he left off after last year. So we got Blake Howell down on the inside. John McIntyre elects to take the high side, up 13 positions now. Mark Parkhurst is going to stay behind Blake Howell. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Bill McDonald up on the high side. Jonathan Leach down low. David Mozepa up high. And that is the top six. So Blake Howell finds himself in a familiar position, leading the race with a few laps left to go. We'll see if he's able to hold on and make it work here. And he is out to already about 2-second lead. John McIntyre stays up on that high side. Bill McDonald's looking to make it 3 wide, stuck in the middle. Mark Parkhurst goes clear down to the bottom, doesn't want any part of being 3 wide. It looks like he's going to fade back just a little bit. So Dylan McDonald makes that pass on Parkhurst. John McIntyre makes a pass on Parkhurst as well on the high side. Going to sit there and battle back and forth. Jonathan Leach up into P5. George Jewell down on the inside is going to make the pass on Leach to take P5 away. So we got some good battles on track. Side by side they go. Blake Howell is still out to over a half-second lead. I am not sure what happened to the 44 the last restart. This restart looks like he just missed a shift and got back just a little ways. Blake Howell just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 33.06. 9 laps to go. He's got 3/4 of a second lead over Dylan McDonald and Mark Parkhurst. John McIntyre back there as well. Wes Fuller in 11th, looking to try and get to 10th. Cogswell up in 10th. Jonathan Leach and George Jewell battling back and forth, trying to see who gets that top 5 position. Dylan McDonald pulls down to the inside. Is going to try and pass Mark Parkhurst here after Parkhurst just passed him on the previous corner. John McIntyre in 4th. Here they go. See if anybody is going to have anything for Blake Howell. Blake Howell is now out to over a second lead right now. Just watch that gap as they log laps here. 7 laps to go. Blake Howell's just unloaded a rocket ship and nobody has been able to contend with him. The only one I saw on track all night that passed him is currently back in 21st, and that's Marcus Chaffin. Cody Mitchell's back in 22nd after a rough restart there. George Jewell just ran his personal best lap. 6 laps to go, and we are under caution. So there we go. Looks like Caleb got a little bit loose here. And he goes down in front, just creams the side of that Stewart Brothers 31 of Kevin Gibney Jr. So that brings out the caution, and we will be going probably to a green-white checker. And everybody fakes out going to pit lane. Is it really a fake out if you do it every time? I don't know that it is. But whatever's working for that 95 Red Duck Comics board there is working. Mark Parkhurst in second. Dylan McDonald third. John McIntyre fourth. George Jewell in fifth. Jonathan Leach in sixth. Ricky Gonzalez in seventh. Jonathan Cogswell in eighth. Rhett Balziger in ninth. Wes Fuller in 10th. So that is the top 10 as they run on the track. We'll see how this shakes it up when they get over here to the choose cone and which way they elect to choose. I want to thank everybody again for joining in on the Facebook Live, cheering on your favorite drivers. I know they like it when they see they have a fan club. Cody must have brought like everybody. There's a few cheering for Blake Howe there as well. George Jewell has his usual in the chat. So 3 to go. Take the green flag. As long as we make it back to the white flag, we'll be racing for checkers. If we get the caution before the leader takes the white flag, we will not. We'll stack them up again and go again. And everybody tries a little fake out there. Like the inside, gonna get a couple new drivers down there. So the nice part about the choose rule is you can go from 20th to 10th pretty quick if everybody chooses one line. The bad part about it is you get the line nobody else wanted. So right now, Blake Howe, Dylan McDonald, Mark Parkhurst, 1, 2, 3. They were 1, 2, 3 when we started the race. Jonathan Leach up one position from where he started. He's sitting P2 in that outside row. John McIntyre up 10, sitting just inside at P5. So here we go. 3 laps to go. We'll see if Blake Howe can make a clean sweep of winning the stages and winning the race and helping his team points. Pace car will be jumping in this time by pace car is in. Blake Howell hits that Geico restart zone and down and away. Don't think he got a very good start as Dylan McDonald is right with him side by side going through the corner. Not something he wanted to see from his teammate there. Side by side still. Almost bumping doors there. Dylan McDonald's going to try and make that pass. Mark Parker slides up into that outside row. As Ricky Gonzalez goes low, going to try and make room where there might not be much. 3 wide they go. Ricky Gonzalez is spinning around. Saves it, so there's no caution. Final lap, white flag in the air. Blake Howell is leading the race. Dylan McDonald's looking to at least bring home P2, maybe give him a little bit of run for his money. Mark Parkhurst back in third. Blake Howell just put his foot down and got 0.3 of a second right there. Coming out of turn number 4, Blake Howell wins the MSRL 200 from Homestead, Miami. Dylan McDonald second. Mark Parkhurst third. Jonathan Leach brings home a P4. And John McIntyre a P5. Biggest mover of the race, though, is going to be back here in 11th in the 08 of David Mayo, up 14 positions. So, with that, Blake Howell sweeps the stages and brings home the W. Let's see if we can get a hold of Mark Parkhurst here. Hey, Mark, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. Heck of a run, battling up towards the front all night. Was able to bring home a P3. What was the track like out there for you?
Extremely loose off the corners. It kind of got tight as you went in, but you came off, you really had to feather the throttles of the back end and snap around.
Yeah, I saw that quite a bit tonight. Looks like the only one that we didn't see that from was Blake Howell. So, but anything you might have been able to do a little bit different to close the gap and maybe get a little bit closer to him?
If we had a long run, I was catching Blake at the end of every single long run, so we just didn't get that at the end, and I didn't have the short run speed to hang with him. On that last restart there, I was taking the bottom, hoping maybe him and Dylan would, door it out, get a little physical, and I could sneak underneath, because I wasn't going to beat him on the outside, but third place, can't complain too much about that.
No, awesome run. Who do you want to thank on that car for that P3 before I let you go?
I got to shout out my sponsor tonight, which is the Colonial Clash Racing Series. It's a league that my team over at 1776 Motorsports runs. They're currently recruiting, and we're going to be starting up on March 1st. So if you're interested, the Facebook page is on the side of the car here. I just look them up, Colonial Clash, and join up in the Discord and get to racing next month.
All right. I will let you get back to celebrating, and maybe I'll talk to you next week when we head to Milwaukee.
Oh, I hope so. I've never been there before.
All right. Hey, Dylan, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. And you guys put on a heck of a race here. You were able to bring home P2. Probably one of the only drivers that were able to stick with Blake on that short run. How was the race from your seat there?
It's pretty good. Extremely loose off. I just wanted to take care of my tires, but did in the first and second stage, so kind of fell behind the 8 ball. Had to get back into the rhythm of racing the track and not myself. So to be up here, finishing right where I was last season, to Blake, it bittersweet, I guess. You know, I had the run on the outside coming to that final restart and just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were getting close, almost door dinging a couple times, but heck of a race. Relatively close finish from what it looked like it started when Blake just drove away from everybody, but you guys were able to bring home a lot of stage points, so heck of a run for you. What's your thoughts looking forward to the rest of the season?
You know, the season actually started tonight. You know, Daytona, first race of the season. That's just to get all the excitement out. Now it's really focus, buckle down, and try to get back in that championship podium spot again, like I did last season. Just being patient, let the racetrack come to me. So definitely want to get a lot more stage points than what I did last season. So season started tonight, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Awesome. Well, anybody you want to thank before I let you go?
Yeah, just the Titletown Racing guys, 213 Simware, WW Motorsports, TJR, Raise Energy, Upstate Body Shop and Towing, Mama Fuller, Wes Fuller, everybody over there. Got to give a big shout out to CRN and Travis's Auto Services here in Fort Wayne.
Awesome. Well, I will let you go and celebrate your P2 finish.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep. Hey, Blake, Mike up in the booth.
Gotcha.
A long time no talk.
Yeah.
Well, you did exactly what you set out to do here. Didn't quite lead all the laps. Had a little bit of a challenge there for a little bit, but what is that kind of where you kind of thought the race was going to wind up going a little bit, or did the cautions kind of throw you a little bit?
Cautions threw me off a lot. Last time I was here for last season's championship, there's not a lot of cautions at all, and tonight was just a complete reset for me. Yeah, Dylan had me scared on that last restart. He took off perfectly with me, and had to race him hard there for the win, which is funny enough exactly how Homestead went last time we were here. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, of course, glad to come away with the win, especially in a part-time schedule. But looking forward to doing it again next time I come back.
Awesome. Well, anybody you want to thank for that win, and kind of what are your thoughts on the rest of the season? Like, what is your plan, I guess?
Yeah, I want to thank Red Duck Comics, 213 Simware, Titletown Racing, Rage Motorsports, Wes Fuller, all the guys over there, Peak Antifreeze, and Raise Energy. For the rest of the season, I think I'm going to run 4 or 5 more races this season at some key tracks for me personally. Just see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the win. Maybe we'll talk to you further down the road at some of the other tracks.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, that was the race winner, Blake Howell. We'll go ahead and take a peek here at the race results. Blake Howell brought home the win. Dylan McDonald in second. Mark Parkhurst third. Jonathan Cogswell in fourth. Jonathan Leach in fifth. George Jewell in sixth. Rhett Balzer in seventh. Blake Henderson in eighth. Greg Wood Jr. ninth. Kevin Gibney Jr. in 10th. Zach Woods 11th. Cody Mitchell wound up finishing P12. Wes Fuller 13th. Ricky Gonzalez and John McIntyre 14th, 15th. Bill Sleep and James Jones in 16th and 17th. Matt Metler in 18th. Then Dave Mospaugh in 19th. Angel Santiago rounds out the top 20. Joshua Billiter, Brian Kaufman, Caleb Collins, Gregory Woods Sr., David Mayo, Richard Gonzalez, and Marcus Chaffin round out the field. So that is that tonight. Once again, thank everybody from Monsters of Speed Racing League putting on a tremendous show. Also, everybody here at Sim Racing Media, thanks for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next week when we head to the Milwaukee Mile. And this is Mike Timoni. Good night.